Williams. A defenseman from Edina, Minnesota, number 18, junior Megan Armstrong. A defenseman from Watertown, Connecticut, number 8, senior captain Amanda Bouvier. In goal today for the Saints from Pictou, Nova Scotia, number 30, senior Colin McDonald. And the rest of the Saints of St. Lawrence. The head coach of the Saints in his 7th season is Chris Wells. The associate head coach is Ted Wisner. The assistant coach is Mayor McDougal Barry. Now let's introduce the starters for your RPI Engineers. A forward from Belmead, New Jersey, number 10, junior Lawrence Watt. A forward from Hopkins, Minnesota, number 16, junior Mari Maggie. A forward from Downington, Pennsylvania, number 19, freshman Marisa Rashba. A defenseman from Oswego, Minnesota, number 20, freshman Amanda Hickley. A defenseman from Clarence Center, New York, number 12, junior Dan Godin. And in goal this afternoon for the Engineers from Sussex, Wisconsin, number 31, senior Kelly O'Brien. And the rest of the RPI Engineers. The head coach of the Engineers in his 12th season is Sean Burke. The assistant coaches are Melanie Green and Erica Mama. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your headwear for the playing of the national anthems of Canada and the United States.
Before we get going here this afternoon, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activities of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org, and you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide the broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. WRPI Sports is seeking current RPI students to make live calls of RPI athletic events such as this one. There are opportunities this season to get on the air for men's and women's hockey. For more information or express interest, contact us at wrpi-sports@rpi.edu. Looking at the ECAC standings for the women right now, RPI sitting in 10th, 7 points behind the Yale Bulldogs, who are in 8th in the final playoff spot. If RPI loses this afternoon to St. Lawrence and Yale is able to overcome Dartmouth, who sits one place above them in the standings at 7th, that will end the chances of RPI making the postseason. There's only the top 8 teams in women's hockey make the postseason. They would be sitting 9 points behind with only 8 points left in the standings. Your goalies this afternoon, starting for the St. Lawrence Saints, is Carmen McDonald, the senior out of Nova Scotia. She is 11-6-3 on the season with a .924 save percentage and a 2.09 goals against average. She has 2 shutouts. Back in net for the Engineers this afternoon is Kelly O'Brien, the senior out of Sussex, Wisconsin. Comes in the game with a .415-1 record, a 3.03 goals against average, and a 9.07 save percentage. As we're underway here at the Fieldhouse, face-off won by the Engineers. Back in the neutral zone, it's Raspa. Now back to the Kimberly, the defense woman. Still in the neutral zone. McRae poking it away for the Saints, but it's back to the Engineers now. Mankey in her own zone. Intercepted there by the Saints, and it's back in the RPI defensive zone as they're still trying to get it into the offensive zone, but the Saints keep getting a stick on the puck, keeping it out of there, as it's then dumped in by Engineers as they'll switch forward as Wash remains in there. Saints now have it, clearing it out of the zone. Bounces off an RPI leg and stays in the Saints defensive zone. It's Booyah back there, challenged by Savoda, and then along the corner boards. Still fighting for it. Now it's Booyah with it, who clears it out to the Shilter, takes a shot, which scuffs, goes to the Saints, who have it now behind their own net. Armstrong avoids the forecheck of the Engineers, but now the Engineers have it. Centering pass back up to the blue line, taken by Heidersbach with a shot that's blocked by Banks into the far corner. Heidersbach trying to center it, hits the goal instead. Behind the net now is Shilter with the puck. Getting poked at by the Saints. Now Banks has it, has some space to skate. She'll take it into the neutral zone of the Engineers. Up to Grusha. Grusha in the offensive zone. Dumps it into the near corner. It's Svoboda back there with Pedalis. A few more players in the boards now. Now it's Marks with it, intercepted by Mahoney. Now in the neutral zone, as it's going to fall all the way onto O'Brien's net, and she's going to cover up to get the face-off. No shots so far, 18:09 here in the first period. 2 game misconducts yesterday for the Engineers. Not something you see too often in women's hockey. Grusha and Mahoney both receiving a game misconduct. Mahoney in the second period, Grusha late in the third period, but they're both in the lineup here today. As the Engineers won the faceoff, trying to get in the offensive zone, it's Mahoney. And she loses the puck now. Here come the Saints. Saints in the offensive zone. Marshment behind the net. Looking for Webster. Webster has it, trying to find a pass out to the blue line. Poked away by the Engineers, but now it's back to the Saints in the neutral zone. McClure tries to slide it over to her defensive partner, Pedalis. Back to McClure. Here comes Webster in the neutral zone. She's going to try and dump it into the corner as the Saints change out their players. Engineers coming back the other way now. Here's Mankey. Mankey over the blue line, but that's going to be offsides. Raspa just a moment too soon there. Thought Mankey was going to go over quickly, but Mankey skated to her right, and Raspa was unable to stop her momentum, as we'll get a face-off here in the neutral zone. It's going to be Miller and Mankey. It's won by the Saints. Over to Booyah. Still in neutral zone. Fighting for both teams along the near boards. Engineers now in the offensive zone. Still no shots on goal here, 17 minutes into the first period. As that puck is now headed behind the net. Saints player has it, looking for a teammate, but Engineers forecheck is keeping that in the zone for now. Miller turns around, trying to get space to skate there. Now she does. She's in the neutral zone. Finds Bell. And her pass is taken away by the Engineers, but back to the Saints. Saints behind their net. It's Booyah with the puck. Booyah, the captain for the Saints, out of Watertown, Connecticut. The senior's only 5'1", but size isn't everything in women's hockey. As that puck is deflected, and we're going to have a breakaway here. It's Renewski. Renewski, breakaway stuffed by O'Brien. That puck tipped in the neutral zone, fell right to Renewski in the offensive zone, and O'Brien, who had to make 2 one-on-one saves yesterday, with a key one right there, was a shot from the point by Armstrong, is saved by O'Brien. Now it's Renewski with the puck again behind the net for a Heidersbach. In the near corner. Back up to Armstrong at the point, over to Pedalis. Pedalis looking for a shot. She's cut off there. Instead, she's going to throw it into the mess of players in the middle. That's going to go all the way across. As the Engineers are now unable to clear the zone, but that's going to go for icing. Tomlinson got a stick on it, but before the red line. So back in the defensive zone of the Engineers. 15:50 left here in the first period. This game is still 0-0. Face-off's going to be to the left of O'Brien. O'Brien, the reason this game is still 0-0, with a key save on Saints player Renewski. As Nick DeMarte Jr., the linesman, is going to kick out the RPI players. The face-off won by the Saints. Back to Pedalis. Pedalis along the blue line, looking for a pass down low. Saints still have it. Back to Pedalis. Pedalis looking for teammate there, Marshment. It's behind the net now. Webster. Nope, now controlled by the Engineers. It's Banks looking for a teammate. She's going to find Grushaw along the far boards. Grushaw trying to find the pass to Svoboda. That's going to go all the way down the end of the ice, but it goes right on goal as McDonald has to cover up. So no icing there for the Engineers. Lucky break with that, as if it had gone anywhere besides the goal, would have gone for icing. Save there for McDonald, technically, or first. With 15:22 left here in the first period, we're going to face off to the left of McDonald. It's going to be controlled by the Engineers, but now taken away. Saints have it. Here comes Booyah. Booyah over the blue line into the offensive zone. Centering pass goes behind the net. Still controlled by the Saints. It's Marshman has it, takes a shot on net on her while she's on her knees. It fluffed the shot, but O'Brien had to make the save there. As she has done so far today. That should be the third shot for the Saints in this game, so officially 3-0 shots on goal so far in favor of the Saints. And we have a face-off to the right of O'Brien. Won by the Saints. Back to Booyah. Goes off Booyah's stick, and she won't have a race for it. It's Wash. Wash trying to make a rush. Go to the wide of net. Her shot is blocked by Booyah. In the far corner now, Booyah being forechecked by Raspa and Wash. Raspa now being forward-checked by Miller of the Saints. Back to the blue line for the Engineers. Comes a shot from Godin blocked. It's going to be in the center of the ice as the Saints try to clear the puck, and they do, but the Engineers still have it in the neutral zone. Comes Godin skating over the red line, passes it in. Got in by Booyah. Saints skating. It's Miller on Miller's stick now. She's on the far boards, and she's going to throw it in behind the net. And is stopped by O'Brien. Banks behind the net. Looking for a teammate, finds Mankey. Mankey trying to clear the zone. Unable to, but the Engineers still have it. Banks still in her zone looking for teammates. They finally clear it out in the neutral zone as it's taken away from the Saints player. Here comes Walsh. Walsh with a shot, save, rebound out in front as the Saints are there to clear it, and they now try to come the other way. Here they come. Centering pass from Marks finds no one. A little off the mark there. As it's now in the far corner. Hilwa trying to clear the zone, but the Saints player keeps it in. Pedalis chips it in behind the net. No Saints player there. Schilter now has some room to skate, and she's going to take it. Schilter gets it out of the zone, in the neutral zone now, over the red line. As the Saints now control the puck again. Back in the neutral zone. As now the Engineers have it. They have some skating room. This shift change here. Grusha has it as her move is stopped by the defender there, Krakanitis of the Saints. Krakanitis out in front. Tomlinson looking for the pass. Grusha save by Horwood. What happened there was Tomlinson was trying to pass it cross ice to Grusha on the back door. as that pass was blocked by the Saints player, but fell to Horwood, who was coming down the middle anyway, and her shot there was saved by McDonald. Engineers' best chance of the game here so far, with 13:05 left in the first period. Still 0-0 here. As that face-off is won by the Engineers, kept in the zone by Wren. Wren behind the net now. Then taken by Tomlinson out to Middlebrook. Behind the net, Horwood pressing on the Saints player. In the near corner, it's Horwood and Webster. Horwood being surrounded by Saints players as that puck is out loose now in front. Back up to the blue line that was cleared by the Saints, but kept in by Wren. Wren finds Grusha. Grusha past the Saints player. Centering pass out front. Here's Wren in this circle. Back to Grusha. Engineers the most extended amount of offensive zone time here. Down low. Centering pass. Sticked away by the goalie. Grusha's shot is blocked by Wand of the Saints. Middlebrook. And then finally the Saints are still trying to clear it, and they do. Good play there by Engineers as they still have a chance here. And finally, the Saints able to get puck far out of their zone. But now it's back in there as the Engineers make a change. Well, extended offensive play there. Ice time for the Engineers. They had a few opportunities as puck is kept in the offensive zone there by Svoda along the blue line. As the Engineers still keeping the puck in the offensive zone. Pass is blocked, and here comes Miller of the Saints the other way. Miller 5'9" out there, probably the tallest player on the ice, and it's easy to see her. She stands out. This is behind the Engineers' goal. Back, it's in their defensive zone now as the puck is cleared into the neutral zone. Pedalis finds her defensive teammate there in Krakanitis. Scrum along the far boards in the neutral zone. As now the Engineers have it as Godin. Still in neutral zone, but now in the offensive zone for the Engineers, but no one there as the puck is taken behind the net by McClure. Pass intercepted. Mankey shot on goal, saved, sticked aside by McDonald there. The St. Lawrence Saints ranked 8th in the polls this week, one of 5 ECAC teams ranked. Not looking like a top 10 team at the moment. Also coming off a one. Here come the Saints the other way though, as I say that. That pass is by Renewski, is looking for Heidersbach. It misses her. It's the Saints still in the offensive zone. Shot there, blocked from the point by Booyah as the Engineers clear it. And here they come the other way. Mankey 1-on-4 as that's taken away. And now Krakanitis has it. As it's going to be sent all the way down the ice. No icing here. It was tipped by the Saints. And here comes Wren the other way. Wren trying to get out of the zone. She does. Now Grusha has it. Grusha through the neutral zone, over the blue line in the offensive zone. Shot saved there by McDonald by the gloves. Shot right on her body. There's no rebound given up there. 10-10 left here in the first period. Still 0-0. As I was saying before the rush, the Saints ranked 8th in the nation, but coming off a surprising 1-1 tie to the Union College Dutchwomen last night over in Schenectady. Looking to get a win here against the Engineers. They sit 5th in the ECAC standings as that shot by Middlebrook goes wide of net, taken by Walsh. They sit 5th in the ECAC standings at 23 points, 3 points behind having home ice in the first round of the ECAC playoffs, actually quarterfinals, I should say. As the Saints have it in the neutral zone, but now it's Wren along the far boards. In the offensive zone now of the Saints. That shot is saved from Webster, and then a goal. As it was saved, but then fell out of her hand to Jackie Wand as the Saints take the 1-0 lead here in the first period. That shot from the far face-off circle from Renewski. Actually, it went in right off the shot from Renewski. It went between the arm and the body of O'Brien there. So, excuse me, not Renewski, it was Heidersbach. So Heidersbach with her 9th goal of the season there did the Saints the 1-0 lead here in the first period. Face-off won by the Saints. McRae coming the other way. She's cut off along the far boards by the Engineers. McRae fighting forward along with a few Engineers. McRae finds a teammate down low. It's Wand. Wand back up to the point. Shot. It's going wide there, but gloved by Dallas. As 9:18 left here in the first period. finally got the right player in that goal. It is actually Brooke Webster. A lot of players in their 20s here for the Saints. So Brooke Webster with her 15th goal of the season for the Saints there. This is faceoffs coming to the right of O'Brien, won by the Saints. But Dallas past the player, shot, goes wide, looking for a teammate, and a shot from number 10 of the Saints, Miller, is saved by O'Brien. Engineers clear the puck into the neutral zone. It's Padalis looking for a teammate, it finds Miller. Miller in the neutral zone. Over to Hahn. Hahn has it taken away by Schilter. It's now Padalis and Schilter down, excuse me, McRae and Schilter down low. In the near corner. Behind the net, it finds a Saints player. Armstrong with a shot, it's blocked by Wash. As the Engineers able to clear out of his own end. As that puck goes all the way down behind the net, no icing. It was tipped as Padalis has the puck now. Dallas still in the zone, taken away by Grusha. Grusha has some speed. She has had Armstrong going slow. Centering pass, looking for Tomlinson's behind her. Middlebrook has it, gets it behind the net to Tomlinson. Tomlinson looking for Horwood, it's past her. It's going to be Horwood and Padalis. Padalis just clears it out of the zone. And the Saints here have a 2-on-1. The shot goes wide from Marks. As the Engineers now have 2-on-2 getting back the other way. Grusha looking for a pass. Her angles are cut off there by McClure. Behind the net now, and the Saints have it. So a little end-to-end action there. Nothing happening for either team on that. As Wands is intercepted in the neutral zone, back in the defensive zone of the Saints. Now taken by McClure. McClure behind her net for Booyah. Booyah finds Wand in the neutral zone. And that's able to get in the offensive zone. Here comes Webster. Webster centering pass. It's intercepted by Godin. Good stick and body positioning there, but still the Saints threatening behind the net. That wraparound attempt from Marshman, was blocked by O'Brien. Now in the neutral zone. Engineers have it back. It's Kimmerly in the neutral zone behind the net. McDonald goes back there to stop it. Saints back there as well. Along the far corner board now. 6:50 left here in the first period. Saints 1, RPI nothing. You're listening to Jeffrey on RPI RPI Hockey Radio. As that goes all the way down the ice, hit by the RPI players. O'Brien stops and finds a teammate in Schilter. Here, RPI able to get out of the zone. Krakanitis over to Padalis. Back to Krakanitis. As Bell able to get that in the offensive zone for the Saints. Banks behind the net. She's pressed by Miller. It's between their skates now. Schilter's over there as well. Puck a little bit loose. Schilter has it. But Mark's able to keep it in the offensive zone for the Saints there. As it's along the near boards. Miller has it. She's loose now. Out in front. Saved there from a shot from Bell. Miller got front and passed to Bell with O'Brien with another great save for tonight. Saints lead in shots 6-5 here. Officially. As RPI is able to get it in the offensive zone and change out their players. Brackeny looking for the pass from the neutral zone, but it finds an Engineer. Engineers being pressed against the near boards in their own defensive zone. Got a few players in there. Webster, Middlebrook. It's loose now in front of the net. It's going to find Padalis. Padalis with a shot that's tipped in front by Grusha into the netting behind the boards. 5:21 left here in the first period. Saints lead 1-0. Shots favor them 6-5. O'Brien with 2 or 3 good saves already. She played well yesterday in the 2-1 loss to the Clarkson Golden Knights. As the Engineers trying to get their 4th win in the ECAC this year. They come in with a 3-13-1 ECAC record. Saints 10-4-3. As that faceoff is won by the Saints. Shot from Booyah, saved by O'Brien. As Grusha has it behind the net now, loses it a little bit. As the Saints have it back, it's Heidersbach, and that shot goes wide from the Saints. Back to the blue lines, Booyah. Her shot blocked. It was actually Armstrong, excuse me. As now it's Horwood who has it. She has some room to skate, and she's going to find a teammate in Tomlinson. Tomlinson trying to skate by the Saints defense. Has it behind the net. Seeing some skates along the corner boards. As it's now back in the neutral zone. Banks has it, and she just slams it back in as the Engineers get back on side. Swoboda forechecking. Puck falls to Mahoney in the neutral zone, but then Saints able to get it back. It's Miller here in the neutral zone. Miller tries to pass it along, but it finds Brandy Banks, who slams it across the neutral zone all the way down for icing here. 4:26 left here in the first period. 1-0 Saints. This faceoff's going to come to the right of O'Brien. It's going to be Miller and Swoboda here. Face-off won by the Engineers, but behind them, Saints are pressing. Miller has the puck. Miller skating behind the net. Centering pass, looking for a teammate. Sticked aside by Mahoney. In the far corner boards. Schilter back there with McRae. Now Miller has it for the Saints. Pressed by Banks. McRae takes it back. Miller has it on her stick. Miller centering pass. Finds no one, but back to Miller. Miller with a shot. Saved there by O'Brien. McRae centering pass is taken by Mahoney. As Engineers still trying to clear the zone, unable to. Schilter has it behind the net. She finds Mahoney, who has some room to skate, and she finds Swoboda in the neutral zone. Swoboda with a little bit of speed over the blue line in the offensive zone. Dumps it into the far corner boards. She gets off the ice. Engineers able to change there. But the Saints come back the other way to Webster. And that puck is taken away. Good pressing there by Wren. Wren, the forward for most of the season, is playing a lot of defensewomen the past 2 nights here for the Engineers. As it's now Marshman with the puck. 3:15 left here in the first period. Puck behind the Engineers net there. Mankey getting tackled a little bit by the Saints, but nothing happening. Shot there, but from Booyah is sticked aside by O'Brien, as then comes behind the net, back to her other side. She covers up to stop the play. 2:58 left here in the first period. Engineers only have 5 shots on net. Saints with 10. Saints also with the only goal of the afternoon so far, coming from Brooke Webster out of Aurora, Ontario. That faceoff was won by the Engineers. Into the neutral zone. Webster has it back in her stick. She tries to come up over the blue line. Finds Marshman. Marshman shot there from Jackie Wanda. The Saints is saved by O'Brien, and Webster was there. Puck fell loose in the crease. Webster tried to save it. Webster tried to shoot it, but unable to. So as then a shot from the blue line is blocked by Tomlinson. Shot was from Trakanitis. In the neutral zone, pucks to the Engineers, but back in the offensive zone. Bouchard loses it, but there's Walsh, who has Walsh behind the net. Circles around, looking for a teammate. Centering pass goes right through the legs of Heidersbach, but Brandy Banks unable to get a shot off there. As the Saints try to clear the puck, that's going to go all the way down. 4 icing here, the first icing of the game on the Saints. As 1:57 left here in the first period. This faceoff's going to be to the left of McDonald. McDonald, this is her 22nd game of the year. She plays about 2/3 of the time, as Brooke Waleko, the freshman, here's the other 1/3 generally. Face-off controlled by the Engineers. It's Walsh behind the net for Swoboda. Swoboda centering pass, Mahoney in front. Unable to get a shot off his. Mark's got her stick in Mahoney's way. She was right in front of the net. To great angle to shoot there. Still in the offensive zone, the Engineers. Schilter unable to keep it in. Banks along the far boards, throws it in. McDonald behind the net, stops it. Booyah able to clear the puck. The Engineers have it now in the neutral zone. It's Wren. Wren skating from right to left. Looking for a teammate, finds one. And then Engineers chip it in. It's Booyah behind the net, pressed by Mankey. Booyah looking for a teammate. Able to find one in Marshman, but now it falls to Walsh. Walsh out in front, backhand, saved by McDonald. As the Saints now have it, and they're coming the other way. Here comes Miller. Miller with some room to skate. Miller centering pass for Marshman. Marshman trying to find Wand on the other side, but that pass is blocked. So we have 1 minute left here in the first period. Saints still have the offensive zone. That shot from Pedalis goes wide. Engineers able to clear in the neutral zone. Armstrong. Now Marshman back in the offensive zone, but that's going to be offsides there on the Saints. 42 seconds left here in the first period. Engineers with a few opportunities, say with an opportunity there to score by Mahoney, but Mark's able to get her sticking there and stop the shot. We're going to have a face-off here in the neutral zone. It's going to be won by the Engineers. Back to the defensewoman Godin. Godin looking for a teammate off the boards. Doesn't find one, then finds the stick of a Saints player. Marks trying to pass it in the neutral zone. It's Webster with the puck in the neutral zone now. Skates by an Engineer. Here comes the Saints the other way, but that's blocked by the Engineers. Horwood has it now. Horwood finds Grushaw in the neutral zone. She gets it into the offensive zone, but Webster now along the boards has it behind her net. Stopped there by Tomlinson. Tomlinson trying to find a pass. She's taken down by Pedalis. No call. Centering pass is stopped by McDonald. Now back behind the net. Pedalis, Tomlinson, now Horwood. Horwood centering pass goes right by the skate of Grushaw, as that's the end of the first period. As the Saints will go into the first intermission with a 1-0 lead. No penalties in the first period. Shots favor the Saints 12-6. And that one goal came from Brooke Webster at 10:18. Assist to Jacqueline Wand. Webster, her 15th goal of the year. Wand, her 12th assist. As we'll step aside here, you're listening to RPI Women's Hockey on WRPI Troy 91.5 FM and simulcast on rpitv.org. WRPI and simulcast on RPI TV. As I was saying, Saints with the 1-0 lead here, courtesy of Brooke Webster at 10:18 in the first period. Shots for the period favored the Saints 12-6. No penalties on either team, which both teams may not mind. Both teams have power plays under 10%. The Saints just at 9.4% for the season, but that's better than the Engineers at 6.2%. As we also looking at the stats here in the first period, and Rensselaer leading on faceoffs 8-7. Grushaw was 4 for 5. Svoboda was 3 for 4 to pace the Engineers. Hannah Miller of the Saints went 5 for 1 in the faceoff circle, as the Saints only won 2 faceoffs when she was not at the circle. Engineers needing a win or at least a point here, more than likely to preserve hope of making the ECAC playoffs. They have not done that since the 2 seasons ago. That was the 2012-2013 season. They went up to Clarkson and lost their first 2 games of the playoffs to end their playoff appearance for them. But at the moment, it looks more likely than not this will be the 2nd straight year they are out of the ECAC playoffs. ECAC, one of the tougher women's conferences with defending champion Clarkson. You have 5 teams ranked in the top 10 of the USCHO poll. A very tough conference to get points in if you're not one of the top teams. As both teams are back in the ice here, as the clock is winding down. Rensselaer will be skating left to right this period. The Saints right to left. Both teams have all 5 skaters and the goalie back on the ice. A little less of a crowd here than yesterday. Yesterday was Greek night here at the Houston Fieldhouse. You had a lot of Greek brothers and sisters here for the game. It was a very good game between the Engineers and Clarkson. One RPI was unable to win as the puck is dropped here. Saints in the offensive zone. It's Miller behind the net. She circles around up to the blue line. Finds Armstrong. Armstrong keeps it in. As back behind the net. Saints looking for a centering pass. It goes wide of the net. As O'Brien tried to glove it and hold on to it. Wasn't able to. Miller has the puck. Miller coming in on net. Sticked aside by O'Brien. Miller still has the puck again. She's trying to get by Wash, able to fend her off with her size. Miller centering pass. That shot is blocked there by number 12, the Engineers, Godin. Godin trying to chip it away. It's Hahn trying to keep it in. Able to. Now Renewski. Renewski back up to Booyah. Renewski. Shot tipped out in front. Puck back up to Booyah. Booyah skates into the faceoff circle. Centering pass. Save there from Renewski down low on the backhand as the Engineers now able to get it out of the zone. In the neutral zone, they'll just dump it in and change all 5. Booyah behind the net, skating with speed, tries to find a teammate. That pass is tipped by the Engineers. They have the neutral zone, but here comes Renewski now. 1-on-2, centering pass, finds teammate who shot saved by O'Brien. That was Heidersbach. With the shot went right up the air. O'Brien lost it. It went straight down. As Engineers coming the other way, shot from Grushaw is whiffed on, but the Engineers have it still in the offensive zone. As Tomlin looking for a pass, finds Grushaw, passes over to Horwood, and that shot is saved by McDonald. Good play there by the Engineers as Banks trying to keep it in. It tips off, goes right off Grushaw and then into the neutral zone. As Schilter tips it back into the offensive zone. Engineers now not offsides. They're allowed to be in there. Middlebrook has it. Middlebrook skating and shot is blocked. Saints able to clear the zone as that's going to go all the way down for icing there with 17:50 left here in the second period. So Saints with the offensive chances in the first minute and a half here or so of the second period. And RPI applying the pressure for the last minute. Great attempt there by Horwood and a save by McDonald. As this faceoff's going to come to the right of her. Won by the Saints is Pedalis behind her net. Finds McClure. McClure looking for Wand and has her. As the Saints able to get her out of the zone. Renewski Over to Marks. Marks into the offensive zone, skating slowly. Shot there, out in front, saved. Tipped by Ranuski, goes nowhere. Still in front. Engineers trying to clear it, still unable to clear it, and now Swoboda has it. She finds a teammate in Rooney in the neutral zone. She loses the puck to Krakanitis as it's on the half boards by the RPI bench, but now in the neutral zone. Still in the neutral zone. It's kicked right to the Saints as here comes the Saints as that pass finds the Saints player. That shot goes out in front, saved by O'Brien, and then Marshman with the attempt goes wide of the net. She wasn't able to get a good stick on it as it just came right to her. She wasn't able to do much. So Engineers catching a break there. Still trying to get the puck out of the zone. Finally able to is Walsh. Walsh over the red line, over the blue line. She's going to shoot that wide of net, but stick the side into the far corner by McDonald. Into the neutral zone now are the Saints. They're coming the other way. It's McRae behind the net. It's now Miller. Nope, McRae. Now controlled by Bell. Saints being pressured by the Engineers as it finds the save there by O'Brien. That shot was from Armstrong. Got me tongue-tied there. O'Brien manking the neutral zone. And now Pedalis has it for the Saints. They're going to slow down the play here. And skate it in. Here comes Bell. Bell in the neutral zone, in the offensive zone. And now the Engineers have it out of the zone. It falls to the stick of Grushaw. Grushaw boxed in there by the Saints. Still in the neutral zone. Grushaw has it again. Skates by one player. Stick got uplifted. No call here. Still no penalties in this game. As the Saints now in the offensive zone. Shot there is saved there by O'Brien. It took a bounce off an Engineer. The initial shot from Ranuski. Here comes Grushaw the other way. Grushaw past the Saints player, McClure, trying to find a centering pass. Out in front, loose. Horwood. Shot is blocked. McClure and Horwood along the near boards. Horwood finds teammate in Banks. Banks' shot is blocked. Horwood trying to find Tomlinson on the back door. That pass is intercepted by Pedalis. And here comes a shot from the Saints. That is saved. That shot from Heidersbach. It was actually Booyah with that block a few moments ago. Here was Banks the other way as she chips it in as the Engineers change their lines. As that puck goes all the way down from the Saints for icing. No tip there. Looking for a player in the neutral zone, didn't find one. 14:56 left here in the second period. Saints still leading 1-0. They also lead in shots 18-9. So Saints already with 6 shots in the second period. RPI just with 3. This is face-offs to the right of McDonald. Won by the Engineers. It's Middlebrook. Middlebrook throws it behind the net. First pass goes, puck goes past Swoboda. Mahoney has it. Back to Swoboda. Swoboda loses it to the Saints. As Engineers trying to keep it in the zone. They are either way, it's still in the zone. The Saints and the Engineers are in there, but now it's out of the zone. Booyah loses it in the neutral zone. Has it back. Ships it to a teammate. Here comes Webster. Webster looking for shot. Shot goes wide. As in the near corner now. Wren passes it to Middlebrook. Middlebrook forecheck there. Back to Webster now as the puck. Webster trying to get back to the blue line. Instead it's Mahoney who has it for the Engineers. But Pedalis not able to keep it in. Here comes Swoboda. She's 1-on-2. Shot is gloved aside there by McDonald. That falls and is cleared by the Saints. It was Mahoney who then tried to center, had a centering pass, but just went to the Saints. Still in the offensive zone of the Engineers now. It's Pedalis. As it'll be Wash who finds that loose puck. Finds its way back to Wash. Wash with the shot blocked. So, Horwood out in front. Her shot is saved by McDonald. Horwood behind the net, still skating. Loses it to Miller. Miller's trying to get out of the zone. She's able to, but the Engineers now control. Kimberly cross ice to Godin. Godin throws it in. It's going to make its way back to Wash. Wash and Pedalis. Shot here from Grushaw goes wide of net by the blue line. Engineers still in the offensive zone. It's on the far boards now. Grushaw looking to skate by a player, loses it to Miller. Miller getting forechecked by Grushaw and another Engineer. Grushaw Stick handles by one player, gets it up to Banks at the blue line. Blanks skates in, finds Grusha back in the center. Shot goes wide of net. She had McDonald going the wrong way on that one. Now it's Horwood along the far corner boards. Puck back up to Shilter now. She skates in, looking for a backdoor pass to Banks. That's sticked aside by Pedalis. Engineers with extended offensive opportunities here. Getting 2 shots in this, and now the Saints are able to clear the puck into the neutral zone. And it's going to be Hahn who just dumps it in as the Saints change all 5. Now it's Shilter behind her net. Back there with Williams of the Saints. Mark's also out there now. It's still Grusha. Grusha getting it out of the zone into the neutral zone. Puck falls back to Renewski and then to Banks. Just loose puck here. As finally, Rooney has it. She has some room to skate. She's gonna try to do with that. She tries to skate behind her net, but that pass is blocked by Heidersbach. As now it's Booyah in the offensive zone behind the net for the Saints. Wraparound attempt is stopped there by O'Brien with the pad. Booyah came from right to left behind the net, so O'Brien had to move from her left to right. The wraparound attempt from Booyah, she actually skated into the center between the face-off circles, so O'Brien had plenty of time to see her and stop that shot there. 11:50 left here in the second period. 19-11 on the shots favor the Saints. 1-0 favors the Saints on the scoreboard. As face-off to the right of O'Brien, Mankey is kicked out. Face-offs won by the Engineers. It's Kimberly behind her net. Finds Raspa. Raspa now Mankey into the neutral zone of the Engineers. Here comes Raspa now over the blue line in the offensive zone. Raspa throws it into the far corner. There's Wash. Wash stick handles by one player, loses it. Back to the Saints. Nope, now back to Wash. Wash behind the net looking for Raspa. Goes past her. It's going to get all the way over to the Saints. So throw it back behind her net. It's Booyah. Up to Webster. Webster neutral zone. Tries to find a pass to teammate Marshman. Goes past her and she'll get off the ice for a change. Still in the defensive zone of the Engineers. Now it's Horwood with room to skate in the neutral zone. 11 minutes left here in the second period. She's in the offensive zone now, but loses it to Pedalis. Pedalis skates by 2 Engineers, passes into the neutral zone looking for Marks. Marks challenged by Middlebrook as the puck went off Middlebrook's stick into the Saints bench, and we'll get a stoppage play. 10:48 left here in the second period. Reminder, you're listening to Jeffrey Epicall, WRPI Women's Hockey on WRPI Troy, 91.5 FM, also simulcast on rpitv.org. As that face-off at center ice is won by the Engineers. Still in the neutral zone now. Neutral zone, Grusha able to get in the offensive zone. Looking for a centering pass. Instead, it goes off the skates of McClure. That pass. It's out in front, right in front of the crease, but that's sticked aside by Pedalis. Saints clear it in the neutral zone. Heidersbach looking for a pass for a teammate, doesn't find one. It sends Grusha on the neutral zone. She's had some speed here. She's taken down there by Mark. Still no penalties called. Not a single penalty this game, as we're almost 30 minutes through here. The shot by Marks goes wide of the net. That slap shot blast was all the way to neutral zone. Krakenowski then gives it up to Heidersbach. As the Saints lose in the neutral zone, now they have it back. Here comes Booyah. Booyah skates by an Engineer. Shot there, saved by O'Brien. Loose puck in front, saved there again. That second shot came from the Saints' number 14, Sydney Bell. As the fans getting a little upset here with no call in the neutral zone on Grusha. We've seen no penalties in this game, unlike yesterday's game, which had, I believe, 12 or 13 power plays combined for the two teams. As that faceoff is won by the Saints, but goes back into the neutral zone. RPI gets it in the offensive zone, but the Saints have it now. Krakenowski trying to get it out, unable to. Instead here it's Booyah, and then the Saints get it in the offensive zone. It's Bell and Shilter behind the net. McRae there as well. McRae circling around, finds his way to Miller. Miller being taken down by 3 Engineers, cleanly, I might add. It's now behind the net. The Engineers still trying to clear it out of the zone. Booyah has it. Slap shot. high, saved, glove saved by O'Brien. Puck loose in front, goes to the corner. Back up to the blue line now. Krakanitas' shot is blocked by Mahoney, but his booyah skates by an engineer. Gets it back to Krakanitas. Krakanitas' wrister goes high. Falls to Walsh as Walsh trying to clear out of the zone and does. That went right by the stick of Krakanitas. But we're going to get icing here, as the refs deemed that Krakanitas was unable to corral that puck in the neutral zone. 8:49 left here in the second period. Saints still leading 1-0. They're also doubling the RPI shots, 22-11, as this faceoff's going to come to the right of O'Brien. Won by the Saints. It goes into the neutral zone. Dallas went off her skates. It's Armstrong now passing along the far boards. Here comes Webster. Webster trying to escape by Mahone. There's a shot there from Armstrong. There's Webster trying to escape by Mankey. Unable to, but then the puck fell to Armstrong, who skated in on net. And O'Brien with the stop there to keep this a 1-0 game. As the Engineers are going to change out all 5 here. Going to have Grushaw taking this face-off. Also Wren and Horwood out there for the Engineers forwards. We have, excuse me, Wren is actually playing defenseman for the Engineers this afternoon. So we have Tomlinson, Horwood, and Grushaw there for the Engineers forwards. We're going to have Middlebrook and Wren for the Engineers defensemen. As Grushaw was taken out of the zone, it's now Tomlinson and Webster. Puck won by the Engineers. Here comes Wren. Lose it all right out in front. Saved by O'Brien. That was Wands with the shot. Still loose in front. Over to the corner now. Horwood. Wren was trying to skate. It just completely lost it and fell to Jackie Wand, who was just waiting there essentially for it. Had a free shot on net one-on-one with O'Brien, but O'Brien stood up tall there to make the saves. Now Engineers in the neutral zone. Trying to get in the offensive zone. They do. It's Wand circling around, able to get in the neutral zone for the Saints. It's McRae, passes it, excuse me, not McRae, centering pass from Marshment goes wide of the other Saints player, so no shot there for the Saints. Now the other way, the Engineers, Horwood, along the near board, she has the puck taken away from her. As that pass from the Saints goes into the neutral zone. As Brandy Banks has some room to skate here. Brandy Banks passed one player all alone there. Shot was going wide, but patted aside by McDonald. Still in the offensive zone of the Engineers. Walsh behind the net, stops her skate. Centering pass blocked there by the Saints. Player still out in front. Walsh taps it behind the net. It's Mankey. Stops, turns around, finds Walsh. Walsh skates around looking for a pass. Finds Schilter by the blue line. Schilter passes it back to Walsh. It's now Raspa behind the net. Centering pass over to Kimberly. Kimberly's shot is blocked as Marks has some time to skate around, and now the Saints able to clear it. As here come the Saints back in the neutral zone. It's McClure now, as that's going to be offsides. It was Heidersbach, head of Renewski there. As 6:49 left here in the second period. Still just 1-0 is the score in favor of the Saints. Engineers with only 1 goal on the week, and that came short-handed. Now it was Grushaw yesterday in the second period. As that faceoff is won by the Engineers. In the neutral zone of the Engineers, Swoboda. In the offensive zone. Behind the net. And Saints trying to chip it in the offensive zone in the neutral zone. That goes into the Saints bench here, so we'll get a stoppage in play. 6:26 left here in the second period. Saints still doubling the Engineers in shots, 24-12. This faceoff's going to come at center ice. It's going to be Grushaw and Webster. That faceoff is won by Grushaw. Grushaw alone in the offensive zone along the far corner board, stops on their skates, looking for a pass, but puck gets to the Saints, but kept in by the Engineers. It's Horwood. Horwood trying to pass it to player. Grushaw's shot in the center goes wide. This has been the best line for the Engineers so far tonight, without a doubt. Grushaw, Horwood, and Tomlinson. As Grusha now has the puck behind the net. Stick handles aside, still loose in front. Puck loose in front, still. Now it's Tomlinson. Tomlinson behind the net, pressured by Pedalis. Shot there from Middlebrook, who is down low, and that's saved by McDonald. As this has been the line creating opportunities for the Engineers all night. But still no goals so far. As with 5:29 left here in the, 5:49 left here in the second period. Face-off still in the offensive zone for the Engineers. It's Raspa looking for a teammate, finds Banks, but it's Juan able to get into the neutral zone. She finds Marshment, puck loose in front, but controlled by Banks. Banks finds Shilter behind the net. Shilter then into the neutral zone. So it's going to go all the way down the ice, but on to McDonald, so no icing. The Saints have it. They try to pass it to the neutral zone. That goes past everyone, but no icing as the ref's team, Kimberly could have controlled that. Still in the offensive zone of the Saints. Trying to make their way down to O'Brien, but unable to. He's in the neutral zone. Here comes Mahoney. Mahoney skating by everyone. Backhander to the side. Saved there twice by McDonald. She's skated by Booyah Mahoney. And first the backhander save, then the forehander. As opportunity there for the Engineers. Still no goals. As trying to center it there is Walsh. Now over to Mahoney. Mahoney in the near corner boards. Puck loose. Mahoney. Shot blocked by Booyah. Saints trying to clear the puck. It's Walsh. Now Svoboda. Svoboda taken down. Godin has the puck in the set. Save there. Pad save. Here's Grusha. Grusha skates by a Saint. We got one Engineer down low. It's Walsh. Shot there by Svoboda, saved by pads, from the pads by McDonald. The Saints send it loose. That puck's going to lose its momentum. No icing here. As the Engineers try to clear it. It's fluffed there by Kimberly, but she gets it back in the neutral zone. Into the offensive zone of the Engineers. Now 4 minutes left during the second period. Saints leading 1-0. You're listening to Jeffrey Up on WRPI Troy, RPI Women's Hockey, simulcast on RPI TV. As it's Wren skating, forecheck by the Saints, but able to find the teammate in Tomlinson. Engineers trying to get out of the zone. We've got 5 players along the near boards now. 3 for the Engineers, 2 for the Saints. And the Engineers able to get the puck as it's Wren, finds Grusha. Grusha dekes by a player, passes it over to Horwood. Horwood trying to skate by Pedalis, but that pass is chipped out in front, gloved aside by McDonald, still behind the net. Pedalis able to find Heidersbach, and she now has some room to skate and pass it. As the Saints able to get out of the zone, and now it's Renewski in the offensive zone. 1-on-4 shot doesn't go anywhere. She only got the top of that puck, not a clean shot. Then you're trying to skate it to clear it out of the zone. Under 3 minutes left here in the second period. It's Wren behind the net with Miller. Now it's Renewski, no, excuse me, it's Hahn with the puck. Makes his way up to Booyah. And then controlled by the Engineers, it's Mankey. Engineers trying to clear it out. It's along the blue line, unable to clear it out. Here comes Miller, she's looking for a teammate. It finds one in Hahn, but that shot is saved there by O'Brien. O'Brien coming up big again. As Miller waited there until she had a lane to pass, found Hahn out in front, but Hahn with nowhere to shoot as O'Brien was right there for the stuff. Shots favoring the Saints 25-16. Favoring the scoreboard as well. The St. Lawrence Saints 1-0. As this faceoff coming to the right of O'Brien. 2:24 left here in the second period. As Webster's kicked out of the circle, in comes Wand. As the Engineers win the faceoff, but then Webster able to have it. Webster skating behind the net. Passed up to the blue line for Booyah. Booyah finds Marshment. Marshment back to Booyah. Booyah throwing it down low. Well wide of net. Shilter has it. She's skating around trying to clear out of the zone. Stops in her tracks. Finds defensive partner Banks. Banks up to Svoboda. Svoboda through the neutral zone, past the blue line. Shot on net blocked aside by McDonald's. Back to throw to the near corner boards. She throws in the mess, and that's going to find Mahoney. Mahoney back up the blue line. Kimberly. Kimberly's shot is going wide, and it does. Engineers pressing here with 1:39 left here in the second period. As Saints trying to clear the zone. Back to Grusha. Grusha's trying to skate by one player. She's getting held up a little bit, but no call from the refs. Mahoney now has the puck, and Grusha. As it's loose in the face-off circle, and the Saints able to clear it. It's going to be Marshman coming the other way. As Kimberly stops her with a good stick check. But in the offensive zone of the Saints now. As Kimberly throws it behind the net to Godin. Godin trying to clear out of the zone. The forecheck of the Saints keeps it in. As Grusha now able to get back in, or get it back out, I should say. 1 minute left here in the second period. Saints leading 1-0. As Kimberly just tried to clear it, went off the back of the net. As it's still loose in front now, very loose in front. And O'Brien, puck's going to fall to her to the left of the goal. She's going to glove that to get a stoppage in play. 49 seconds left here in the second period. Saints still leading 1-0. Face-off's going to be to the left of O'Brien. Saints with 13 shots here in the period. RPI with 12. As that face-off is won by the Engineers, but kept in by the Saints. Saints down low. It's going to be shot. Goes wider than that. Wraparound attempt. Goes not. No call on the ice as that wraparound attempt from Heidersbach. Instead of able to wrap it around, it went straight through the crease. As Engineers getting lucky there. Refs behind the net talking about it. As looking at a replay now. Shot went wide on that. Here comes Heidersbach. As her wraparound attempt got off a player's leg, and we're going to have a replay here. I'm not even, excuse me, a review here. I'm not entirely sure where that puck ended up, because after Heidersbach wraparound attempt, it appears to have gotten stuck in a player's legs, or have no idea where that puck went after the wraparound attempt, even watching the replay. And then it appears again at the end. As it might have been under O'Brien's pads and she was pushed in, but not sure if the whistle was blown here. As this play is under review, so we'll see. To me, there's no definitive evidence of the goal, of the puck ever going in the net, that I can tell on this review. As it looks like it stayed under O'Brien. Watching this replay many times, still very unsure of where this puck ends up. As it, that puck might have gone in the net. So the wraparound attempt went off O'Brien's leg, it might appear, and that the puck was under the leg on the overhead view. So you're not able to see it, but there's a chance that's where it might have been, because you lose the puck for a few seconds on the review. So we're going to wait and see what the refs deem here. Very inconclusive review, but not entirely sure what happened down there in the crease with 39 seconds left here in the second period. RPI trailing 1-0. Play still under review. Refs looking at it down in the scorer's area. Getting one more review here. Heidersbach, puck went off a Renewski stick, actually, and then over to O'Brien. But it went to her trailing leg as she was coming across the goal. And then you just lose it in the overhead review. Overhead camera, I should say. There's very, very tough to tell exactly where this puck went after O'Brien essentially took it with her trailing left leg, as it was Heidersbach coming from O'Brien's left side of the net. Initially, O'Brien made a good save on that side, and then Heidersbach skating around the net, so O'Brien had to slide from left to right, and then as the backhand attempt, as the wraparound attempt went loose in the crease, that's when she was going from left to right, O'Brien, I should say. And it went off Bernuski's stick or body, it appeared. There was no kicking attempt. That's not an option here, based on my view of the replay. And then it goes to O'Brien's pad, and then you lose the puck. And then when she gets up after sitting down, you see the puck appear outside of the net area. So this replay is very inconclusive, but if the refs are able to deem they know where the puck went, possibly a goal here for the Saints. As they are still looking at this review here, it's been a good 2 or 3 minutes now. Just 39 seconds left here in the second period. RPI trailing the Saints 1-0. RPI needing points here today, more than likely, as they trail Yale for the 8th and final playoff spot in the ECAC by 7 points. It's Yale playing Dartmouth right now. All 12 ECAC women's teams are playing games at the moment. As we're going to get the refs come out and say no goal, and a face-off to the right of O'Brien. So inconclusive evidence on that to tell where the puck went. There's a very high, I wouldn't say very high. There is an absolute chance that puck did go into the net, but no way for the refs to tell on the replay. As Chris Wells, the head coach of the Saints, now is getting an explanation from the ref Drew White over by their bench. As the engineers are ready to go here, the Saints all wanting to hear exactly what happened. More likely than not, the evidence is just highly inconclusive to tell where that puck went. There's no definitive way to know that puck was in the net. But there is definitely a chance that the puck did go into the net. As Chris Wells is still getting an explanation from the refs. Wells, in his 7th season as the head coach of the Saints, an alumnus of St. Lawrence University. His assistant coach is Ted Wisner. Excuse me, his associate head coach is Ted Wisner. His assistant coach is Mayor McDonald Barry. As we're now ready to get back under play here. So just 39 seconds left here in the second period. Engineers in their own zone. That faceoff is won by Grushaw. Trying to clear the puck of the Engineers. It's Pedalis who keeps it in the zone. He's going to fall away, get behind the net. Banks wraps it around looking for Mahoney. Engineers still trying to clear it out of the zone. Schilter now with the puck. Skates towards her net. Very dangerous there. Now it's loose in front. Saved from Heidersbach. As it's loose in front. Shot there. Saved from the Saints there. It was still loose in front. That shot came from Jenna Marks as the Engineers clear it. That's going to go for icing with just 0.5 seconds here. So O'Brien coming up big again for the Engineers, and the shot from Marks. She had no one in front of her for the shot. As after this face-off, pretty much no time here for any team to do anything. As we're actually going to have Chris Wells is calling over his center Ranuski to tell her something. I think he's going to tell her just to shoot on the drop. That's the only possible chance here the Saints have of scoring. Instead, it's nothing. And that'll be the end of the second period. So after 2 here in Troy, it's still 1-0 the Saints. The Saints lead in shots 27-18. That'll be 15 shots for the Saints in the second period and 12 for the Engineers. Still not a single penalty in this game. Faceoffs tied 15-15 as we'll step aside. Here after 2, it is 1-0 the Saints. You're listening to RPI Women's Hockey on WRPI Troy. Welcome back here for the third period. As that's about to get going in under a minute. As RPI is trailing 1-0 against the St. Lawrence Saints. You're listening to Jeffrey Epp. Call RPI Women's Hockey on WRPI Troy, simulcast on RPI TV. The only goal in this game coming in the first period, courtesy of Brooke Webster, her 15th of the year. That was at 10:18. The assist, the only one assist on that goal, going to Jackie Wand. Still no penalties called in this game. Neither team with power play opportunity. As faceoffs are tied 15-15. Drew Shaw leading the way for the Engineers, going 7 for 9. Swoboda going 5 for 9 in the faceoff circle. Hannah Miller of the Saints, 7 for 9 as we're ready here in the center circle as the ref is unaware that the clock is still running down. Linesman was about ready to drop the puck. Now the clock is ready to go at 20 minutes. As the puck is dropped one away here in the third period. As face-off controlled by the Saints, back in their defensive zone. It's Hahn looking for teammate Williams there, but she's offsides. And we're at a stoppage just 11 seconds into the third period. Engineers, if looking for any hope to make the postseason, gonna need a win here tonight if scores out of town stay how they are, especially most importantly, the Yale versus Dartmouth game. With Yale winning that game, Engineers want them to lose that game, preferably. As the Saints have the puck here in the neutral zone. Throwing it back to the offensive zone. It's taken by Godin. Godin chips it off the boards, trying to pass to herself, but stopped there by Hahn. Now it's Kimberly. Kimberly trying to get Ali off the zone. She does into the neutral zone. It's Armstrong. Armstrong loses it. Here comes Tomlinson. Tomlinson centering pass, looking for Grusha. Grusha behind the net. Still has the puck, looking for a teammate. Trying to find Shilter. She's unable to. As now it's Booyah with the puck. She clears it. No icing here. It goes all the way down the ice. It was tipped by the Saints. It's Banks. Banks it off the boards over to Shilter. Behind the net. Shilter banks it off the boards herself. And then here comes Wand. One shot is blocked by Banks. Goes off the glass. Still in play here. As now it's Shilter behind her net. Getting challenged there by Marshment. Marshment in the near boards. A few players there now. She gets it up to Pedalis. Pedalis' shot goes wide. Back in the near corner. It's Grusha now with the puck. She's trying to find a teammate going along the backboards, but Saints now have it again. It's Pedalis. Pedalis throwing it back in from the blue line. Banks holding off the Saints player. We got 2 players for each team now behind the net. Skating there is Marshment, still getting held up slightly by Banks. Puck is still loose, and now the Saints finally have it. Here come the Engineers. In the offensive zone, it's Horwood. Horwood, centering pass goes off the back of the net. As Mark McDonald doesn't know where it is. Still Horwood with the puck behind the net, looking for a teammate. Finds Grusha. Grusha being challenged by 2 Saints players. As it's Rooney able to keep it in the offensive zone. Rooney skating now. Back behind the net. McClure chips it, but there's Middlebrook for it. Middlebrook back to Rooney. As now here comes Marks. She has some ice to skate up. Finds the teammate in Ranuski. Ranuski tries the centering pass it to Marks, but Marks had slowed up. As the Engineers now have it behind the net, but then the pass stolen by Marks. And then taken back by the Engineers is Mahoney. As we're going to get a hand pass call here against the Engineers. Hand pass happened along the near boards, far from where I can see. A little blocked off by the press box when it's unable to see that at the time. 17:15 left here in the third period. Still 1-0 Saints. This faceoff is going to come to the left of O'Brien, won by the Engineers. Middlebrook backhands it behind the net, finds its way to Marks. Marks chips it behind the net. As it's Ranuski cut off there by Middlebrook, but she has it back now. Falls down, and we're going to get a penalty here finally. The first penalty of the game against Middlebrook, I believe. They're going to call of hooking. So with 16:59 left here in the third period, first penalty of the game, Saints come in with a 9.4% power play. They were just 9 for 96 on the season. And that penalty was something they've been letting go so far today. That wasn't too strong a hooking. As the Engineers coming in with a 73.6% penalty kill. As that face-off is won by Engineers. Godin has it behind the net. She has some room to skate. And she's going to chip it out of the zone. Takes a high bounce, gets down there in a hurry. It's Grusha skating behind there. Her stick's hitting. Is in the jersey of Booyah. She looked like she was getting held initially, but it wasn't Booyah doing that intentionally. Grusha just got her stick stuck in her jersey. As then it's in the neutral zone and goes into the Rensselaer bench for a stoppage in play here. Pucks face-off's gonna be in the neutral zone here. 16:36 left here in the third period. It's gonna be Svoboda and Webster. Face-off won by the Saints, but then taken back by Engineers. And Schilter, who chips it with the backhand back into the offensive zone. Taken by Miller. Miller wheeling around her net, being pressured by Mahoney. As then it's Booyah with some room to skate, and she'll take it. Still, now in the offensive zone are the Saints. Booyah keeps it in. That pass is now her pass to Miller. Goes along the blue line and then out as the Saints come out and reset. Booyah's pass to Webster. Webster skating between the two Engineers. She's taken down is the call here. As we're going to get it on Brandy Banks, causing to be tripping with 1 minute left in the initial penalty. So the Saints with exactly 1 minute of 5-on-3 power play time here. As after no penalties called in the first two periods at all, 2 on the Engineers in the first 4 minutes and 4 minute and 1 second. It's officially 15:59 left here in the third. As the Saints here with 5-on-3 for a minute. It's going to be Grusha taking the face-off for this Engineers. She's able to chip that all the way down the ice. As now here come the Saints, still in the neutral zone, over the red line, now in the offensive zone. It's Miller. Miller centering pass, sticked, shot by Heidersbach. Goes wide, it's Booyah back to the blue line. Booyah coming down low, back up to Miller. Miller with a shot on goal, and that's gonna go in there for the Saints. It's gonna be, don't think there was deflection on that, just a lot of players in front. As actually it looks like Ranuski's taking credit for this one. The shot from the point came from Miller. There were bodies in front. So I have the replay here now. Miller's shot was blocked by, tipped in by Ranuski. So the Engineers getting scored on 5-on-3. Saints can take the 2-0 lead here. It's still gonna be a power play opportunity for the Saints. It's gonna be Ranuski's 11th goal of the year. At least 1 assist will go to Miller. Probably a 2nd assist will be announced later. As Marks' pass goes off the stick of Kimberly now to play. So we're going to get a face-off here to the left of O'Brien. 15:21 left here in the first period. Scoreboard officially still says 1-0, but it is 2-0 Saints. As it is yet to be put up there. As the face-off is won by the Engineers. They're to try and clear out of the zone, unable to. It's Heidersbach. Heidersbach skating around. Has it up to Armstrong. Armstrong keeps it in. Back to Armstrong, over to Pedalis. Pedalis' shot comes in on O'Brien. Shot saved, another shot saved there on the doorstep from Ranuski. The Engineers then able to clear the zone. Fans clamoring for a penalty on the Saints there, getting a little into this game. The Saints back in the zone. It's Pedalis. Pedalis checked, and then the puck was loose. Gets by. Here comes Mahoney. Armstrong didn't see her coming. Mahoney has it. Shorthanded shot. Save. Out of loose in front. Shot goes wide from Horwood. Engineers with a shorthanded opportunity there. It's still in the offensive zone. It's Horwood now. Getting pressured by 3 Saints. She kicks it back up to a teammate. Then she gets it back. The Engineers clear it in the neutral zone with some room to skate is Godin. Godin backhanding it, trying to. Engineers back in the offensive zone. It's Horwood trying to has it, and then she loses it to the Saints. So Engineers with a great shorthanded opportunity there. Get their second, possibly their second straight shorthanded goal, as there's now 10 seconds left here in the power play for the Saints. As it's going to be Marshman in the offensive zone. skating along the blue line, and then it's taken by Schilter. Schilter throws it along the neutral zone to the other side where no one is, as the power play is over. In the neutral zone now, Wash throws it in, chasing her own pass. Taken by the Saints. Here comes Miller through the neutral zone speed. Miller stick handling, going to her right by one Engineer. Backhand attempt wrapped around the net, wheeling around, throws the puck on her stick, finding Booyah. Booyah going wide as that shot from is wide by the Saints. As we're getting the official call of the goal here, it's going to be Renewski from Miller and Booyah. As the Saints now have it behind their net. Here they come the other way. That's going to go all the way down for what looks like icing. Yep, that was a pass from the Saints in their defensive zone, looking to be, it was McClure looking to get it tipped by a teammate beyond the red line, but she was pressed against the board, so no tip there. 13:02 left here in the third period. RPI trailing the Saints 2-0. Face-off coming to the left of McDonald. It's going to be Svoboda and Miller, but Miller's kicked out before she even gets in the stance. It's going to be Williams and Svoboda. It's won by the Engineers, but cleared out of the zone by the Saints. Engineers get it back in. It's McClure getting pressured from behind by Svoboda. In the near corner boards now. Engineers have it back up at the blue lines. Kimmerly. Kimmerly passes it to Mahoney. Behind the net is Walsh. Walsh trying to find a teammate, centering pass, but that's stopped by the Saints. This puck still in the offensive zone for the Engineers. As the Saints now have it. Chip it off the boards into the neutral zone, into the defensive zone of the Engineers. Still in the defensive zone. And now finally got it out the Engineers, but it's Heidersbach who has it. Nope, now the Engineers. And now it is Krakenitis. Puck loose in front of the net. Tipped there by Grusha, is saved by McDonald, then wide. She's behind the net now. Grusha still has the puck in the corner, skating around. Poke checked away. Puck goes all the way to the other side of the ice. It's Horwood. She gets moved aside. Here comes Marks on a breakaway now. Marks and Schilter. Marks past Schilter. Shot goes high over O'Brien. Marks throws it behind the net. Renewski is being held up by Banks there. Because now Marks has it again, trying to get it to a teammate. It's going to fall to Renewski. And so here's a shot from Heidersbach. That's blocked by O'Brien. Saints leading in shots here, 29-20 is Krakenitis. Shot goes well wide of net and high. Engineers still trying to clear the puck. It was Tomlinson trying to do it right there, but she got crunched by 5 Saints. They were all around her. Saints still in the offensive zone here. It's Wand behind the net, circling around, finds Krakenitis. Wand passes it. Oh, and now there's Marshman out in front. Sticked aside by O'Brien. No save officially, but great stick check there to stop Marshman as from getting an open shot there. Krakenitis' shot is blocked by Grusha. Krakenitis' shot again goes wide now. Engineers still unable to clear this puck as Tomlinson's trying and still in the zone. It's Webster throws across the net, across the ice, I should say, as it is now out of the zone. The Engineers unable to change, though, as Saints back in quickly. These Engineers have been out here for a while. They're definitely showing signs of getting tired, as they could use a stoppage in play. Puck is loose and still in the zone. As Engineers able to change one here. It's Grusha behind her net. She dekes past one player, past the second player, past the third player. She has got to be tired here, still skating hard. As we're going to get off sides here on Raspa. But the Engineers actually won't mind that, as they still needed to change some players there. So able to get 5 fresh players out there after having the same 5 out there for well over a minute. Exactly 10 minutes left here in the third period. Saints leading 2-0. Saints have it back in the neutral zone along the far boards. In the offensive zone, Wren stops it from getting very far. In the neutral zone of the Engineers. Now in the offensive zone, Saints have it. Still no power play opportunities for the Engineers in this game. As Middlebrook loses it to Hannah Miller in the neutral zone. Here comes Sydney Bell in the offensive zone. She backhands it off the glass into the near corner. Whitney Wren back there. Skating around, stops, looking for a teammate, finds one in Delaney Middlebrook. It's now in the neutral zone. As here come the Engineers, it's going to be Raspa on the fast break. Shot is slow shot is saved by McDonald. Because Raspa shot again, out losing in front is Mahoney. Mahoney! Pass from Raspa along the far boards, picked off a Saints player. Mahoney went top shelf on the stick side of McDonald. As the Engineers get on the board here with their first goal of the afternoon. Mahoney out in front, and that was roofed into the net by Mahoney. Should be an assist there for Raspa. Mahoney, that's going to be her 4th goal of the season as we face off again here now. It's controlled by the Saints. This is just a 1-goal game here again now. 2-1 Engineers as the puck falls down. Excuse me. It was a pass attempt by the Saints looking for the to get through the defense, and the puck went off Renewski's stick down to O'Brien. She just covered up there for the face-off to her left her. So 9 minutes left here in the first. RPI with some life here in this game now. Their first goal this weekend to come on even strength. First of the only other goal came yesterday, a short-handed one. As the Saints now have it, it's Pedalis through the neutral zone. And then it's Heidersbach behind the net, stopped by Mahoney. Mahoney trying to find a teammate, but Mahoney back has it now. Officially, that goes to be Mahoney from Raspa and Mankey is in the offensive zone. Is Walsh now. Walsh stopping shot goes. It's going to go well high up the net, but McDonald able to glove that, standing up in her crease to get the faceoff. 8:29 left here in the third period. St. Lawrence leading RPI 2-1. Engineers needing at least a point and ideally 2 points in this game. They want to make the ECAC playoffs. Not an easy task against the 8th-ranked team in the nation. But St. Lawrence coming off a 1-1 tie against the Union College Dutchwomen last night. Not looking like the 8th-ranked team in the nation, I have to say at this point, but still a very talented team, and with the lead here, a tough task for the Engineers. As the puck in the RPI defensive zone, it's Wren, challenged by Marshment. A lot of players in the corner now. As Engineers trying to find it. Now it's Horwood. Horwood with some room to skate. Passes it, looking for Tomlinson. Tomlinson trying to apply pressure on the defensewoman Krakanitas. She has it. She has, but then the Saints able to get it back. That was the line of Brushaw, Horwood, and Tomlinson, which have been playing well for the Engineers now here. But now back in the offensive zone of the Saints. It's Marshman taken into the boards by Godin. It's Horwood now with the puck, looking for Mankey. She finds her. She's upended by Pedalis. No call from the refs. Offside of the Saints, but now they're back onside. As it's Godin skating from behind her net. Off the boards in the neutral zone of the RPI is RPI. Pedalis looking for teammate, goes right past her. As it's now Wren back in the defensive zone. Passes up. RPI in the neutral zone. Here comes Mary Mankey. Mankey trying to back pass it to Horwood. He's getting stopped there by 2 Saints players. Hahn is one of the 2 in there. So now we're going to whistle here. Going to get penalty on the Saints. It's going to be Megan Armstrong getting called for it. It's going to be checking, I believe. So RPI with their first power play opportunity of the night here, looking to tie this game up with 6:51 left here in the third period. RPI comes in with a 6.2% power play. Cross-checking is the official call on Megan Armstrong. Armstrong, the junior out of Edina, Minnesota. A place where the Engineers have gotten players in the past. The men's team currently has 2 from Edina in Lou Nanny and defenseman Parker Reno. As getting a whistle here. Not sure what the stoppage is for. As ref is... Refs are... Oh, excuse me, we're actually going to get... There's actually an RPI player in the box as well. It's going to be Marissa Raspa in there for body checking. So no power play opportunity here for the Engineers. My mistake on that one. Did not see the RPI player going in there. So it's going to be 4-on-4 here for the next 2 minutes. So Raspa for body checking, Armstrong for cross checking. Either way, it's 4-on-4 here. As now it's Marks, takes away from Kimberly. One-on-one with O'Brien. Shot goes wide. As puck in the near corner, the Engineers in the defensive zone. Two players, both teams out there. And now it's Grushaw with the puck. She has some room to skate. She's taking it. She's taken out wide by Booyah. Grushaw skating across. Yes, finds Horwood in front. Shot saved there by McDonald. Great pass from Grushaw to find Horwood cutting across the net. As Godin cross ice to Kimberly. Kimberly, puck is loose out in front and now taken by Marks of the Saints. As here comes Booyah through the neutral zone. Booyah finds no one. And then in the neutral zone's Wash. Wash 1-on-2. Slows down. Stays in the center of the ice. Finds teammate in Mankey, who gets it her stick upended. 1 minute left here on the 4-on-4. We've gotten a lot of action so far in the first minute. As here comes Webster. Webster behind the RPI net is stopped. Now it's Juan skating around. Juan looking for Webster down low. Finds her. Juan going behind. Webster going behind the net. Skating around. Up to Krakenitis. Engineers trying to get out of the zone. Unable to, but they actually have the puck, control it now. It's going to be Schilter. Takes it behind her net to reset. To Juan applying some pressure. Over to Wren. Wren passes it back to Schilter. Schilter loses the handle as it's still in defensive zone for the Engineers. It's Wren. Gets by Webster. Wren with some room to skate. Trying to get by one player in Heidersbach. Unable to, but Heidersbach in the offensive zone now. Shot sticked aside by O'Brien there. As the Saints still applying pressure. Centering pass goes by everyone to go all the way down the ice as we have 5, 3, 2, 1, back to 5-on-5 here with 4:49 left here in the third period. RPI in need of a goal, down 2-1 to the Saints. It's Pedalis by 2 players, passes it by everyone. It's going to go down for the icing call here with 4:37 left in the third period. Shots favoring the Saints 32-23. RPI still without a power play on the game. Saints have had 2. They scored their game-leading second goal on that one. As we're going to get a timeout here with 4:37 left in the third period. Not sure which team called this timeout yet.
Timeout, St. Lawrence.
Timeout's going to be called on the Saints. Or called by the Saints, I should say. So RPI in need of a goal here. We'll check the out-of-town scoreboard to see where the all-important Dartmouth-Yale game currently is. Looking that up right now. Yale leading Dartmouth 5-2 with about 2.5 minutes left in that game, so pretty comfortable saying Yale will get the victory in that one at this point. So RPI definitely in need of at least a tie here. Tie would make them 8 points behind Yale. Not entirely sure where the tiebreakers stand right now. I know RPI lost to Yale earlier this season, and they play at Yale next weekend. So I believe the first tiebreaker in the ECAC is head-to-head wins. So RPI would need to win that game no matter what. Being behind 8 points if they were to tie here, and they would need that win to head up that tiebreaker and then go to the second tiebreaker. But Engineers preferably would get a win here. Trailing 2-1 here with under 5 minutes left here. Face-off won by the Saints. Still in the offensive zone, the Engineers though. Behind the net is Booyah, excuse me. Is into the neutral zone, is it? Tomlinson in the offensive zone, on the wing, skating centering pass, still in the front, is taken by the Saints as they come the other way, 2-on-3. It's Marshment It's by one player, centering pass, looking for one. Great save there by O'Brien, and then save again coming from behind was Miller. O'Brien has been playing very well today to make this still only a 1-goal game for the Engineers. As now here they come the other way, it's Grusha. Grusha skating, coming in the center of the ice, kicks it, trying to backhand it to Mahoney coming from late. Instead it's in the neutral zone. Here come the Saints in the offensive zone. Vernuski skating behind the net, pressure by Middlebrook. Here's Marks. Marks looking for a teammate, finds Bouye. Bouye's shot is fluffed by being blocked by Mahoney. And now here comes Mahoney the other way. Mahoney skating down the wing, looking for a teammate. Instead she's going to shoot it. Saved by McDonald out in front. Marks takes it, trying to clear the zone. The Saints are unable to. It's now Wren. Just over 3 minutes left here in the third period. Engineers still have O'Brien on the ice, a little early to take her off. Still in the offensive zone. Walsh is now taken down cleanly by Pedalis. As Pedalis then gets slashed from Whitney, held up is going to be the official call. She lost her stick. Either way, St. Lawrence is going to go on the power play here. It's Whitney Wren into the box. Holding is the call. So with 3:04 left here in the third period, St. Lawrence with the power play. Looked like much more of a slash. Oh, it is a slash. That is the correct call. Either way, as I was saying, power play opportunity here for the Saints. They have scored 1 on their 5-on-3 so far today. They are 1 for 2 on the afternoon. The Saints win the faceoff. It's Pedalis. Pedalis throws it over to Armstrong. Armstrong shot saved by O'Brien. Grusha has it. She clears out of the zone into the neutral zone. Pedalis has it. Back in neutral zone, the Saints. Pedalis in her own zone. Finds Armstrong. Armstrong with some room to skate. Then's going to try and pass it up to Webster. Webster, Marshman trying to find cross-ice pass. Another cross-ice pass attempt there from Armstrong. As the Saints are now in the offensive zone trying to set up the offense. It's Marshman. Back up to Armstrong, over to Pedalis, along the blue line, back to Armstrong. Armstrong with a slapper there. Stopped by Horwood. Grushaw has it along the far boards. Trying to skate it out. Is able to skate it out. Now she's going to keep going herself. Trying to get by Pedalis, unable to. In the neutral zone is Godin. She's just going to stick it back in the offensive zone. But here comes the Saints the other way. Marshman in the offensive zone, some room to skate. Backhander going down low for Webster. Great save by O'Brien on the back door. With under a minute left here in the power play for the Saints. As it's still in the offensive zone of the Saints. 2 players for each team fighting along the corner boards. As it's still stuck in the skates. This will work fine for the Engineers. They're just trying to kill this power play before they will be trying to take out O'Brien and get a late goal here to tie it up. As it's Bouye, keeps it in. Kimberly behind her net. Throws along the boards, trying to clear it. Horwood then is able to clear it. That's going to go all the way down the ice, stopped by McDonald. And she sends it back to the neutral zone. No, just waiting for a defenseman to get it. 15 seconds left here in the power play for the Saints. As they're back in the offensive zone, it's Marshman. Excuse me, it's Vernuski. Behind the net, Wheeling finds Heidersbach, and then she trips up an RPI player there. So with 2 seconds left on the power play for the Saints, RPI will go on their first power play of the night. This time I mean it. After the next 2 seconds is Heidersbach into the box for tripping here with 1:06 left here in the third period. So we'll see if head coach of RPI, John Burke, takes off O'Brien right here. He won't. Probably the right decision is going to wait for the RPI to get clean possession in the zone. But first, we're going to have a timeout. So he's going to talk it over with his team. With 1:06 left here in the third period, in need of a goal, in need of 2 goals. It's to get a win, but in need of 1 to make this game possibly continue into overtime. So Wren in the box for 2 seconds, and then let out. Heidersbach will be in the box for the rest of regulation, barring a RPI goal. So we'll see what the Engineers are able to cook up here. 2-1 was the score. They lost to the Clarkson Golden Knights yesterday. looking to not fall to St. Lawrence by that score here tonight, this afternoon, I should say. As head coach John Burke in his 12th season here with the RPI women, still talking over. The whistle's blown. Horn is gone, I should say. As both teams heading back in the ice. O'Brien is out of net. So the Engineers with 5 against 4 for the next 2 seconds, and then they'll have 6 against 4 as soon as Wren gets out of the box. Saints will be able to clear it with no penalty of icing. This faceoff is won by Engineers. Here's Godin. Godin back over to Schilter. Wren is out of the box. 6 on 4 for the Engineers. Grushaw, 1 minute left here in the third period. Grushaw skating. Center of the ice shot. In front, loose. Still loose in front. As it falls to Godin. Godin back into the blue line. That shot was blocked by St. Clair's. Never made it to net. Schilter looking for a teammate. Throws behind the net to Tomlinson. Tomlinson getting pressured by Pedalis. And then Booyah now. Mahoney. Now it is Tomlinson with the puck. Taken still behind in the corner boards now. Engineers unable to get this puck cleanly. Now they do. And shot in front. Saved by McDonald. That was Mahoney looking for a second shot of the game. It was Schilter finding her in the center of the ice. All the game had gone over to the boards. Puck got loose to Schilter, and Mahoney with a great opportunity there to score. And McDonald came up big with the save with the pads. And then covering up as it was Horwood coming in the crash. 20 seconds left here in the third period. Face-off coming now. The right of McDonald, won by the Engineers. It's Grushaw. Grushaw skating around. 15 seconds over to Godin. Engineers have to shoot sooner than later. Godin down low to Horwood, back up to Godin. Godin center left to Schilter. 8 seconds over to Grushaw. Grushaw shot blocked by Pedalis. 4 seconds here. Grushaw backhanded in front. And that is taken by Bouye, and she skates it out for the end of the game into the neutral zone. And that will be that. So the Engineers for the second straight night falling 2-1, this time to St. Lawrence. There were 2 goals in the third period. The first of the third period coming from the Saints on the 5-on-3 power play is Kayla Renuski. There's a 5-on-3 power play, assists to Hannah Miller and Amanda Bouye. That was at 4:30 of the third period. And then later at 10:52, it was Taylor Mahoney with her 4th goal of the year. Assists to Marisa Raspa and Mary Mankey on that one. As that will do it here as the Engineers fall to St. Lawrence. 2-1. Checking the out-of-town scoreboard again. As soon as I can locate it on my laptop, there it is. Yale with the 6-2 win over Dartmouth. So with those results, the women will miss the playoffs. They're now 9 points trailing with only 4 games left to play of that final 8th place spot. They'll miss the playoffs for the 3rd time in 4 seasons, 2nd year in a row. Final shots in the game favor the Saints 35-25. Face-offs, the Saints 25-23. Saints went 1 for 3 in the power play. Engineers 0 for 1. As the now hand out my RPI Offensive Player of the Game, I'll give that to Taylor Mahoney, who picked up her 4th goal of the season, our Engineers' only goal of the game. And also had a chance to tie it up late, get her 2nd goal of the game. But good stop there by McDonald of St. Lawrence. And my defensive engineer of the game will go to Kelly O'Brien, who made 33 saves this afternoon. Had a good weekend for O'Brien between the 2 games, but unable to pick up the win. Her record will fall to 4-16-1, as it's Carmen McDonald of the Saints, the senior, picking up the win. Her record will improve to 12-6-3. Before we step aside, just want to once again thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. Reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org, and you can pick up WRPI's broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide the broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is WRPI.org. And WRPI Sports is seeking current RPI students to make live calls of RPI athletic events this season, such as this one. There are opportunities to get on the air this season for men's and women's hockey. For more information or to express interest, contact us at WRPI-sports at rpi.edu. I want to thank today's inboarder, Warren, for inboarding today's game. Stay with WRPI as we'll be back on the air in less than an hour. Perry Lascaris up in the North Country as the men take on the Clarkson Golden Knights in Shield Arena tonight. Men with 2 lineup changes from last night. Inserting into the forwards is Travis Fulton for Lou Nanny. And into the defensive pair, Craig Bokenfor steps in for Park Arena. So with that, we'll step aside. You've been listening to Jeffrey Epp call RPI Women's Hockey on WRPI Troy, 91.5 FM, and also simulcast on RPITV.org. Once again, Perry Lascaris will be on the air in about a little over half an hour to call the men's games. Thank you.